and welcome back. On this week's show, we're making fruitcake. Well, you either love it or you hate it. There doesn't seem to be an in-between, and that would be Christmas fruitcake. But either way, at our house, it's a staple every year, and we always make fruitcake to pass around at the Christmas season. I use a recipe that was written out a very long time ago by my great-grandmother, and I have to say, maybe I'm biased, but it is the best darn fruitcake I have ever had. And today on the show, I'm going to show you how to make it and, well, share that recipe with you. So let's get started with some raisins. Well, the first thing that we're going to do is prepare our wet ingredients. And for that, you're going to need 1.5 cups of water. You're going to need 1.5 cups of brown sugar and 1/4 cup of butter. You will also need those raisins that I spoke of in the last clip, and you will need between 2 3/4 and 3 cups of raisins. So in a small pot, place your 1.5 cups of water and place it on a burner on high heat. You then want to add the raisins, the brown sugar, and the butter. Bring all of that to a boil and then turn down the heat and let it simmer on very low heat for 10 minutes. And once you are done with your 10-minute timer, turn the burner off, remove the mixture from the heat, and let it cool. Now that you have your wet ingredients all prepared, it's time to move on to the dry ingredients. The first thing that we're going to need to do is prepare all of the nuts and the fruit. Because, of course, what's a fruitcake without fruit? Well, it's just cake. The first thing you're going to need to do is take 1 cup of walnuts and chop them up. Now, you don't have to chop them if you don't want, but I like to have nuts mixed all through it, so I always chop them up. The next ingredient you're going to need is 1 cup of chopped dates. So you will cut those up fairly fine and then add them to your 1 cup of chopped walnuts. The next ingredient that you're going to want to prepare is 1 cup of cut up glazed cherries. You can find them at most bulk stores in the baking section or even at your local grocery store. And you'll cut those up fine and toss them in with the rest of the ingredients. As well, you're going to need 1 cup of mixed candied fruit. Now, sometimes they come already pre-cut. If not, you can get a mixture yourself and cut them all up as you wish. Forewarned though, it's sticky business. Now that you have all that sticky fruit in a bowl, I find it best to add our dry ingredients now, and that helps a great deal to keep the stickiness down and to help the fruit separate and mix well through the cake. So the first thing we're going to start with is adding 2 1/8 cups of all-purpose flour. Now, I'm going to run through these next ingredients fairly quickly. I wouldn't worry about it, guys. I will be posting the full recipe in the comments section or the information below, so feel free to copy and paste that onto a Word document and print it out for yourself. So here we go. I'm going to fire through these next ingredients. You'll need to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/3 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/8 or a dash teaspoon of cloves, 1/3 of a teaspoon of allspice, and once you get all that in, mix it up real well so that you get that fruit mixed in evenly all through your dry ingredients. The next thing you want to do is coat a bundt pan with cake release. What's that? You don't have cake release? Well, not a problem. I'm about to give you a bonus recipe to make your own. All you need to do is mix equal parts of flour, canola oil, and shortening. For me, I'm going to be making about a cup of it, so 1/3 a cup of each. Don't make more than you need because it will store unrefrigerated on a shelf for up to 3 months. So making more than you need is really pointless and kind of wasteful. So we will mix in 1/3 cup of flour, 1/3 cup of canola oil, and 1/3 cup of shortening, and mix it well till everything is completely mixed together. Then, using a pastry brush, give a very generous coating to your bundt pan. With your bundt pan fully coated, preheat your oven to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. While we're waiting for our oven to heat up, it's time to mix our wet and dry ingredients. So first things first, crack 2 eggs into a bowl and whisk in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Once that is fully combined, you want to add that to your raisin and brown sugar and butter and water mixture that we made earlier and mix that thoroughly. Once you get that done, add that wet mixture to the dry ingredients and fruit that we mixed up and blend it well. Pour this mixture into your bundt pan, which you have got thoroughly coated with cake release, and bake it at 275 degrees Fahrenheit for 2¼ hours. Now, I would just like to say that 2¼ hours is what it takes in my oven. It could be anywhere from 1½ to 2½ hours, depending on your oven and its efficiency and that sort of thing. So after about 1½ hours, just start checking it by poking it with a toothpick and seeing if the toothpick comes out dry. And there you have it. Christmas fruitcake. Guys, I love this stuff, and bar none, it is the most delicious fruitcake I have ever had. My great-grandmother made it for her family, my grandmother made it for hers, my mother made it for hers, and I make it for mine. I know it's something a little different than I would normally feature on the show, but that is what Tuesdays are all about here on the program, and, well, if Tuesdays can't bring a nutcracker to host the show, then I don't know how different you guys want it to be. If this is the sort of thing that's up your alley, guys, feel free to copy and paste that recipe and share it with your family and make it a tradition of your own. I want to thank you for joining in this week. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell so that you don't miss notifications of future shows, and I hope you're going to try this for yourself, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you're going to join me again next week when I bring you yet another Alternative Tuesdays.